was a little loud. We couldn't afford a proper sound control for this episode, so I got to do it myself. Just pretend someone naturally faded that out this whole time. What's up, guys? I'm using the fire as a cover to hide the fact that I busted major ass. That's why I'm wearing this. Now, I don't want to be glib about the air quality here in LA. I'm actually afraid to breathe outside. But I'm wearing this in the studio because I busted major ass. And Evan honestly busts major ass too in the studio. You never know what kind of scent you're getting when you walk in here. And God bless everyone who works in the studio. You know, you see it. You know, Lauren, Ovi, they walk in here and like they twist up their nose. They're like, "Hey, Evan." Oh, and you see their eyes watering. You get this like faint taste of sour cream. And Evan's sitting there smiling at the computer like, "Hey." No, I'm just kidding. Evan doesn't fart. He does leave major diarrhea chunks in the toilet. Okay. I'm just keeping it in theme. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the TMG podcast. I'm not going to do Bane forever. Maybe just like one more minute. This is cool wearing one of these. I've never worn one of these. Have you ever worn one of these?
No.
Lauren, you ever worn one of these? It feels cool. I feel really cool wearing this. I'm resisting talking like Bane. Probably the funnest thing you could probably do in this. I'm not trying to crutch Batman impressions. I've done that for a long time, you know. I just did a Joker impression on someone else's podcast, my buddy Alec Flynn. Shout out Alec Flynn. And doing Joker impressions online is cringe, you know. I still do it, but gotta get that coin, right? You thought gooning in your mother's bedroom would save you? All right, I'll take it off.
I can't wait for the triangle stamp to just... What happened? Oh, you're going to catch it? Nice. Careful, dude. I need that later for when I actually go outside. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. You guys seem to be excited last episode, hearing all about baby poop and crying. But today will be all about fun. I won't talk too much about how I'm afraid to breathe in toxins. Have you guys been reading about this at all?
Yeah.
You guys afraid to go outside? Do you think it's any worse than what we already breathe?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to believe anymore. I think I'm looking for any excuse to be inside and never go outside. I think that's what I want to do. People hit me up. I'm like, nah, man, I can't go out for the next 3 years. The air quality's too bad. I'm going to just be in here. We can Zoom. Yeah, guys. We all had an interesting weekend, didn't we? Did something happen on Monday? I don't know. It's Wednesday. I can't remember. I can't remember the days of the week anymore. I thought something happened on Monday. Yeah, I can't recall. I'll be in Baltimore in February, by the way. That'll be my first road gig. You know, I'm not on the road too much this year. We'll be doing a lot of stand-up locally in LA, but I'm going to be home mostly this year because, you know, I had my son, which some of you are still putting together, which is crazy. Crazy that you don't know every single thing about me. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. I thought we were parasocial. Here I am thinking you guys want a piece of my hair, and some of you have a casual relationship with the media I'm creating. Here, some of you are actually healthy, and you just recognize me as a guy making media, and you check in every once in a while, and some of you are like, oh, you had a kid? Congratulations. And that is upsetting to me. Because I thought the ground I walked, the chairs I sat in, the farts I laid, I thought you're there with your nose. Oh, fuck, I knew it. I just missed him. That's what I thought. I thought my life was I go to Kabuki. If you don't know what Kabuki is, it's a beautiful, authentic Japanese restaurant that you find here in Los Angeles. It's a chain, but you know, America, we repackage other cultures very well. Kabuki nails it. Kabuki, you get canned 3-day-old lobster with 2-day-old rice. Now, I think Kabuki was probably better some years ago, but you know, now they don't they don't have to let the quality they can let the quality suffer because they have enough customers. That's just how it goes. But I thought when I'd go in there and I'd order my stale kabuki meals, I thought some of you were there sniffing where my ass had been. But here you are having a healthy relationship with what I do. Upsetting to me, honestly. But yeah, have a son, so I'm going to be home for most of the year. So yeah, come see me in Baltimore. It'll be a good time. I'm aiming for all new stuff. Some of you hit me up asking if it's going to be my last set. So yeah, I'm aiming for all new. That'll be in February. I think I'm doing I'm doing Valentine's Day. I don't think people date anymore like that, right? Who's even doing Valentine's Day? Evan, do you do Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we watch a movie pretty much.
That's not. No, I mean, who is doing it like the old way? Buying your someone something red, buying them chocolates, flowers. Who's really doing Valentine's Day like that still?
I'll do chocolates. Like, I'll get something.
Weed gummies don't count, dude. I'm airing out Evan today. I don't know why I'm picking on him. I think, I came in here in a mood. I could smell Evan's rank, and I'm like, he's going to get it today. He out-farted me. That's why I'm mad at him. Sorry, guys. I'm being so disgusting today. Yeah, I'm actually curious. If you do Valentine's Day like, the old world, and I say the old world like the early 2000s, if you lived through that, or maybe your parents lived through that. Pre-housing crisis Valentine's Day. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. If you're doing that, let me know. Because here's something this is just being honest. I've worked hard in my life so that I don't have to ever walk inside a Ralph's ever again. I'll go to a Vaughn's. I'll go to a Whole Foods. I'll go to a Trader Joe's. But specifically Ralph's, I get an existential dread when I go in a Ralph's. I don't know why. I don't know why Ralph's grocery store just makes me sad. The Ralph's display during holidays, when they'll organize all those flowers for Valentine's Day, the pumpkins for Halloween and Father's Day. Because, that's a Father's Day tradition, buying a pumpkin, carving his face in it, and your mom puts her foot through it. Oh, just my family? Oh. I don't know why, man. A Ralph's just makes me feel that dread. Maybe my body, because I'm one of these, and we'll talk about conspiracies, because everyone's laid out their TikTok conspiracies, and we'll get into that. But I fully believe that the grocery stores, they pump something in there. I think they put a low-grade Xanax in the air to try to get you shopping in there for a long time. That's what it is. I associate Ralph's with losing hours of life. Any other grocery store, I'm able to get in and out of there. Hour, bang, I'm out. And that's like pull up, park, cart, snatch. And by that I mean eat some pussy. And then, sorry, being nasty today. I'm being nasty. Get all my items, eat some box, parking validated because you got to get that in LA, and then leave. Okay, all in an hour. Ralph's, I go in there at 12. I leave at 4:30, and it's always the 4th of July when I walk out of Ralph's. Look at this, man. You guys remember edible arrangements? Remember when did you ever work in a corporate office seeing someone receive those? Those edible arrangements to me was the universal, I want to blow your fucking back out. That's why people were sending those in the 2010s, the 2015s, man. When you walked in to your corporate office and you saw that gigantic edible arrangements on some unsuspecting woman's desk, and she had to sit there and be like, ooh, and then she's sharing it with her office mates. I don't know why. I just interpreted those as whoever sent those they want to eat your ass, dude. They want to hold your legs up by the behind the knees and put their tongue in your ass. I don't know why I'd get those all the time, but I never knew who was sending them, but I would just get them. Maybe it was the little note on them, because it'd always be addressed to me whenever I'd receive one. It'd be like, I want to eat your little tiny ass. That's what it would say on the card. Hey guys, I want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. I'm just trying to get some chuckles in. It's the middle of the week. We had a crazy Monday. We had a crazy Martin Luther King Day. You've heard enough at this point. I know this is coming out Wednesday night. We don't gotta suffer through it. The regurges. That's all we're doing, right? In media, we're just bird feeding each other. We see something, we chew it up, and then we throw it up into each other's mouths. How about Zuck though, getting caught with wandering eyes on national TV, dude? And that's a guy that's on the spectrum, so his eye contact is very specific. So that must have ensued an argument. I know it created an argument. Thinking about Zuck just being high pressure, just trying to focus forward. He's not hearing a word. That whole inauguration just sounds like the Charlie Brown teacher, just wah, 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 wah. And he's trying not to look at a low-cut shirt. He's just... Yeah. Oh my God, these headlines, bro. Oh my God, dude. I'll say from the driver's seat of a married dude, all hetero married dude. This is a nightmare headline. Walking out of a building and a bunch of photographs, and it's like, your husband was looking down some lady's t-shirt. I think this is what the goonicide guy was afraid of. I think this is what he was afraid of living through. It did end up happening. I mean, it's a really dark meme. The word, like just the phrases coming out of it, like referring to that guy as the goonibomber. Yeah, like how do you not? Yeah, Lauren's fighting it. She's trying to tuck it in. She's invoking Jesus right now. She's like, "Good Lord, I'm not laughing because I want to. They are making me laugh. Lord, be a tight-lipped face. Be a tight-lipped face for me, dude." Goonibomber is just. How do you not laugh at that? As some of you, the not fun people are like you just don't know. Goonibomber is hilarious. Also, we were just looking up an ad for the goonicide guy. The news articles are crazy. They're reporting on a guy who, culturally we would refer to as he boomed himself, and they got ads for the Emmys in between the paragraphs. It's like they're naming him, talking about how he's, he arrived at the bikini coffee shop with his pants off, and then in between that is like, this week on the Emmys. Hilarious. Anyways, yeah, we all had a crazy Monday. We can get to the funnies. We had the second coming of TikTok. Well, I laughed at that. The amount of people invoking, the resurrection of Jesus verses on this. They're like, on Sunday, he has risen. They're giving it as much guff or as much juice as the pastor who was at the inauguration. Yeah, TikTok coming back. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And Alina was just heartbroken. She's like, no Spencer Pratt for me. The hell am I going to do with my life? But she got her fix finally because Spencer Pratt is taking over aspects of my household. How long was it banned? 12 hours?
I
Right?
think it was 8. Let me double check.
Because it ended on Saturday night, right? And it came
Yeah.
back Sunday. By the time football came on Sunday, I was back on. I didn't even notice it. So if you couldn't make it through that period, you really have a fucking problem. Obviously, everyone has a ton of conspiracy about the TikTok algorithm and why it was banned, and you know how the whole thing was a big billboard for Trump, and everyone's saying that their algorithm is weird. My algorithm's the same. I still got guys doing sponsored posts with their face in women's underwear. You want to see that? I opened TikTok back up Sunday morning at the hour that people are praying, and this is what I get. Let me show you. We'll just go right to it.
Ahora sí, mis amigos. Ahora sí, mis amigos. Ahora sí, mis amigos. Hoy sí, mi mujer me dejó y me sigo oliendo este calzoncito.
All right, pause it. I think that's how I intended to start this episode, but it came across a little bit, harsher. Well, that's how I intended to start the vibe. Just nice, filtered sense. I would have loved to walk around like this during COVID somewhere. Mask required, and I'm just fully in this bronze piece right here. Hello. Honestly, I think you could walk around like this. Who's going to say anything to you? I'd be like, I'm just fantasizing at this point. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be fantasizing live on the podcast about wearing underwear in public. That's my bad. Is this not I'll have to consult what type of lady is wearing these garments, do we think? Mid-40s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or older?
These are veteran garments, right?
I think so.
That's how I'll refer to them. Anyone who's older, I call them veteran. Veteran garments. It's some musk in there. I'm being disgusting today. I'm sorry. But we know, as people get older, the gases and smells, they just come out, right? Old people, they got that, sorry, I can't keep it in vibe. Old people, they just have that, It's seeping out. They don't have as many cells in their body. So all the stinky stuff just comes through. So those garments probably... Anyway, sorry, I'm fantasizing again. Yeah, we had a crazy Monday. I had a sports weekend. I was just trying to catch up on sleep. I didn't really sleep a lot last week, and I finally got some this weekend. I changed a couple of huge dumps. Not that that's super interesting, and I won't go on that for too long. I'll say this. It's funny how fast your brain can be desensitized to poop. Maybe... I've said this in the studio before, and everyone looked at me really crazy, but I asked the room, I was like, do you ever turn around to check? And I think that's the most deer in headlights look I ever got from the entire staff. And I said, do you ever casually check your work? And everyone was like, no. But I think you all were lying to me. I think, I check my work sometimes. But in the beginning, the baby poop, I was like, I got to do this for how long? This is crazy. But then now I'll just be holding just a packet of that organic peanut butter, and I don't care. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. There's some dookie in here. But yeah, dispose of that. And I also have been thinking how much easier it is to have a kid now. Having a phone while having a kid, dude, I don't know what they did in the 90s. Like, or when was TV invented? 2005? No. When was TV invented? But I think you can't count television from what, 40 to Television was invented in what, 1940
Probably 40s.
some? 27. That makes sense. Yeah, because, yeah. So, and what's the golden age of Hollywood television? What is that considered?
The 50s,
50s?
generally, like 30s
Yeah.
to 50s.
Okay. Fuck it. 1930. I don't know what they did in 1930 to like pass the time if you were at home with a kid. I just think it's so easy now to have like when you're taking care of a kid. Dude, we got trash cans that mask the smell. Not that my kid doesn't even like this, but they got this crib called the snoo, and it's got programmed rocking. So in theory, you could put your kid in there, and they'll just this. It looks kind of uncanny when you put a kid in there. Pull it up. I know you guys don't know what this is. Snoo. It's SNOO. You put SNU, you're gonna get some Scandinavian products. You're gonna get some snus, and that is a certain amount of tobacco that makes you throw up. I was trying to work out a bit for this, but I think it's just too specific. It only works if you have the visual. Can you go back like 3?
Yeah, to that video.
Yeah. Okay. So I know a lot of you listening. Some of you had children. Mute this. A lot of you don't. You don't have to have a kid to connect to this. All right. So first of all, this is great. You mute this. Look at this opening frame. Could this not be a room in the fucking office? What? Lumen, at the Lumen office in Severance? Could this not be in a room? Imagine a row of these things. Okay. Now press play. Pause it right there. This to me it's so funny when I put my son in here. Because this to me, like, it's like a lace body bag. When I put him in here, I'm so certain this is the same stuff they're using for, like, in a coroner van. They just take the head off. So you strap him in. It's like a cute, like, insane asylum. I'll put it this way. It's baby's straitjacket. That's what it is. All right. You strap your kid down in it. And then what you're not seeing here is when they're smaller, they have the crotch strap too. So it goes up over the middle part and it just locks them in like that. And then you zip them up in this lace body bag. And then you hit a button on the front and the kid's just going like this. And I to myself, I kind of laugh because I feel as though I'm running my own kind of like cute version of like a Guantanamo program. It's like he wakes up crying, he's screaming for help. We put him on the happy milk. His eyes start to go, and I'm like, shh, you're mine forever. Go back to sleep. We don't put him in this very often. I think he spends maximum like 2 hours in this a day. There's one period in the night where we can put him in this and he'll accept it, and then he'll wake up and go, no, get me the fuck out of here. So, yeah, anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah, just this thing. It's very uncanny. And what's great, this is like a great scam. This thing is very expensive. And we invested in it just for it to sit there. I don't know what would be the equivalent of paying $1,500 for something and they promise you the world and then your kid doesn't even like it. And you can't even use this thing forever. You can only use it for a few months. And a lot of people resell them. That's what we found out. And I wanted to go used, but I don't know what other people's kids are like. You know, I don't know if the kid was just doing crazy. Yeah, what if that family just letting him just fucking piss and shit in there? And I'm unaware. Anyway, so I didn't sleep very much last week, but I got caught up this weekend. It was great. I participated in the American tradition of watching the NFL playoffs. I've not done that in 5 years. I've not sat down to watch the NFL playoffs in 5 years, maybe even longer. And it felt good. I witnessed Mark Andrews, receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, in milliseconds go from a tolerated person to the most wanted man in America for 24 hours. And I felt bad for him because, you know, TikTok was over when was that game? TikTok ended he's lucky TikTok was back so people could get it out somewhere. Because if TikTok didn't exist, I think they would have hunted down his whole family. I think every Baltimore Ravens fan would have had nothing to do, and they're like, we're going to kill his bloodline. We're going to end his bloodline tonight for missing that ball. I don't envy that guy's position at all. Mark Andrews, Godspeed. I would offer to house you, but then they'll come after my bloodline, and I don't know if I can participate in that. So I hope you I hope you make it out this weekend alive. This week, I should say. Honestly, you're kind of on watch for the rest of your life until the next season. So I think you should just move to Canada or something. I'm caught up on Beast games. I know everyone's like, no, I'm not watching that show. I'm not watching that show. If you're not watching it, let me help you out, because I watched it. I'm caught up, dude. I think everyone on the production is trying to distract you with all these world records. They're like, we used 800 cameras. And they did. They did. They used 800 cameras to capture people being sad. That's what that whole show is. That's the part they're leaving out. We used 1,000 cameras to film people crying. I don't think I've seen that many people cry on camera. Because I was watching football upsets, and they'll film people crying at a stadium. But in terms of television programming, or I shouldn't even say television, but something that is put together, edited, produced, put on your screen, I don't know if I've watched anything with that many people crying in the media. It is so absurd. I'll take you through it because I think if you're listening to this, you've either watched it or you haven't. I don't think this is a show where you casually put it on. I think you're either interested or you're not. You guys haven't watched it, right?
No.
Yeah, you're fully out. Yeah. So I'll report it to you like it's like a 1930s space movie through the radio, because your family can't afford TV, because your dad couldn't get a job at the factory because he's ugly. Episode 1, everyone saw clips of episode 1. That's the one where they had the people standing in lines and they dropped them from their platforms. Everyone saw that. Okay, what you didn't see after that was, so they eliminate a whole row. And I'm not going to lie, that was funny. I laughed at seeing all those people just drop through a hole. Like, damn, that is evil. And it's evil because from the outset, they show you how hopeful these people are. Now, mind you, all the production, all the stuff they put into the show, Mr. Beast could have literally filmed a 2-hour-long video where he's like, I casted all these people for a game show, but instead, I'm just going to give them all money, like he always does. He could have taken the whole production budget, hacked it down, and just handed them money, and changed all these people's lives forever. But instead, he's like, let's take all this money and let's make them cry. Let's dangle life-changing opportunity in front of their face and let's make them cry. So after he drops all these people through the hole, right? Then there's 5 rows of people, I think, or 4. I think it's 5. 6 rows total, 5 left, whatever. The remaining people, they organize them in teams. So the first group was dropped, I don't know, what are we calling this way? Straight in front of you? So that's a row, right? That could be a row. Column. I think that's good. So the column of people gets axed. Because, yeah, rows go like this, in my mind. So then they put them in teams like church pew style, like a row in that fashion. How you would sit on a couch. And it goes across. Each one of them is standing at that little hole and they have a button. And Mr. Beast is offering sums of cash. And he's like, if you hit the button, you'll get the money, but you kill your whole row. So all these teams, they're like, let's stay. And you genuinely, I give credit to the editors, because most reality shows, they telegraph it. In the edit, I think they did a good job of not telegraphing who was going to break bad. I think they actually did a good job of tricking you for some of these guys. It was really great. So there's one group where they're all going, put your hands in your pockets. Hands in your pockets. Solidarity. That's the word they keep using. Solidarity. We're in solidarity. We're going for the 5 million. So that's what they all keep saying around the room. We're going for the 5 million. No, me and my row, we're locked. We're locked. Dude, the edits of the backstabbers, when they find the moment where their whole row is like looking away and they just turn to that button and smash it, it's unbelievable. There's one guy who hypes it up for the entire segment. He's like, nah. Dude, he smashes that button for 100 grand with pure joy. The girl next to him turns to him. She's like, what? You promised. She says something like that. And he's like, hey, man, I don't fucking know you. It's unbelievable. That part was like, unfortunately, it was good television. I hate to admit it. You're seeing these people backstab each other and you're on the couch like, this is evil. I'm kind of laughing. This is fucked up. Then what follows after that is progressively more painful. And I also, a lot of the games in the show, they feel really, for the budget, it really feels like a lottery ticket. Some of the stuff, I don't think there's anything you could do. It gives the illusion like you could work as a team and like affect the results, but I don't really think so. One of the major production points was they built these they're essentially like parking structures, and they like herd in groups of people on each level to like perform some challenge. And there's one where they're dropping almost like, they're not like handballs, but I don't know what you would call it, those balls that you get from, honestly, like a Ralph's, like a supermarket. You remember that back in the day when they have like a big cage of these bouncy balls? Yeah, it's like that. I don't know what those even were for, but they're like tie-dye colored. It was kind of like those just bouncing from random holes in the ceiling, and you had to catch them and then hand them to people. Yeah, here we go. This is when life was simple, right? No video games, no nothing. It's like, hey, just give my kid a big blue ball. Oh, man. So they're dropping like this style of ball from the ceiling, and people are having to catch them. And if you drop it, if anyone drops it, you ice out like 50 people from the group. Now, what I give credit to is the producers organized Beast Games so that everything that happens, it's reviewed. So they have like an NFL booth review on all the decisions to make sure they're getting it right, which I thought was smart to do in real time because, you know, you don't want to make the wrong people cry. You want to make the right people sad. So they're playing this game, and again, this is another spoiler. They don't last very long. Like, and you're seeing how the balls are coming down from the ceiling and how they're bouncing off people's fingers. The density of these balls, they're just too lightweight that to catch them, you have to be like perfectly beneath it. Otherwise, they'll go right off your chest, off your shoulder. They're really hard to get a hold of. I think they only last literally 3 balls, and then a whole group is iced out. Then they do a timeout. And then one guy in the opposing team who won, he goes, "Hey guys, I just want to be honest. I dropped the first ball." And no one saw it. And they're like, "What? No, shut up. He's like, "Dude, they're going to review it. They're calling it right now. I didn't want to say anything. I thought we'd get away with it." Everyone is getting mad at him. They're like, "Yo, stop putting out negativity, bro. Stop being negative. Yo, stop." Like, dudes are really getting in his face. "Yo, stop." The producers come over, and the kid's like nodding his head. He's like, "I fucked up." And he's doing this. "That's my fault. That's my fault." And in the edit, they show the dude, the first ball, and he was so confident. I think he was like a college receiver or something. Like, I think he actually played football. I don't know if that was a mean bit, but they put it in the lower thirds about like his background. I was like, ooh, that's fucked up. He catches the first one. It like goes to the floor, and then he picks it back up. And the tone shift from all those people, I think they were honestly ready to kill him right there. It's the show becomes so dog eat dog like 2 episodes in. It's unreal. some of the vitriol that these people have. So then it kind of evolves where there's a dude in the group. He's very religious, and that plays in his favor later. I won't spoil this part because to see that one pan out is so crazy. He basically seems to capture all the attention of all the religious people out of everyone who like registered to be a part of this. They literally like they essentially vote him in at a crucial point in the game, seemingly based on faith. Like it's like, you're a God-fearing man and I trust you to do the right thing. And he's doing this crazy shit where he's like, I'm going to pray to God for the right answer. And then he just ends up helping his friends. It's like this insane moment that you couldn't think would manifest on a game show. And as I'm saying this, I might be selling you on the show, and I'm begrudgingly, I kind of am, because I'm watching like every minute. I'm pretty glued to how evil this show is. I'm sitting there kind of slack-jawed like, wow, I feel guilt enjoying this show because you could tell these people need this opportunity so bad. And I feel guilty watching it because I'm thinking, bro, it's hooking me. It's hooking me. And it's such an evil payoff, just showing people sad. Am I alone in this, guys? Like when you see people sad on a game show, like, do you feel anything when you see that? Am I on a different part of the spectrum here?
It depends on the show, I guess.
Yeah. Ovi?
I think it can be sad, but sometimes they kind of cheapen it, and then it just is weird.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to blame the editors. The editors are making me laugh, dude. They're like doing punchlines with it. It's like fucking crazy. There is one person who wins at a fucking really crucial point, and the reaction that person has is that was another part that I find kind of interesting is a lot of people reference God in this whole show. Like they really have like faith where they go, God is going to give this to me. And this person references God at a crucial point that I go, damn, that is like blind conviction. It's crazy because for some of them it like works out the way they think that it's supposed to, and in the randomness of all the things they're doing, I'm like, that has got to be part of their success, is that they have no anxieties about any of their decisions because they truly believe like God is going to reward them, and God rewarded them, man. He reached down to these people. Apparently he was like, you win this massive thing. Yeah. So the show is like interesting, but not for the ways intended. I feel, but a lot of it is like for the budget. It feels kind of, I don't know. It feels like stuff that if your little cousin was like, what if there was a game show everyone had to pull a monster truck? You're like, yeah, I guess. And that's part of the challenges of the show. So that's where it loses me. Like I just screen max and I tune out. And I play a big rig video game while scrolling TikTok on my phone. Yeah, dude, I'm all in on Beast Games, admittedly. And I'm actually excited to see the next episode. I feel so guilty admitting that shit, but I am. I want to see. And to me, it's a tried and true format. You just want to see who's going to win the money, but you're not really watching for anyone's skill. I'll say there's another segment where they lock these people in, essentially to interrogation rooms. They lock them in groups, and it's like a Russian roulette thing where 3 of them go in a room, but only 2 of them can walk out. So they have to agree on who's going to like handcuff themselves to the room to be eliminated. There are 2 guys. There are 2 brothers that go full like Guantanamo, like CIA gaslight mental breakdown mode on this lady. It's like the most. I think traditional media would be like, yo, we can't air this. But Mr. Beast, he's like, did they just psychologically torture that woman? Fuck yeah, put it out there. Actually, no, I take that back. That's what Love Island and Big Brother is and stuff. So it's not really that far off from any other programming you would see. But dude, the way they team up on her is just, it's not fair. It's fucked up. She's a very endearing and well-intentioned woman, and these are two young Gen Z boys that are like, I'm getting to the bag. Yeah, and they break her down with impunity. It is absurd. I'm sitting here feeling a little bit crazy for liking this too much, but Ovi just reminded me that people would break down crying on American Idol all the time. And actually, American Idol was a show where people loved that. People loved a contestant being teed up on American Idol, and people loved sitting on the couch being like, we know this fucker ain't getting it. We know Simon's going to crush this dude's dreams. Get him out there. Get him out there so Simon can break this guy down psychologically. Mate, did you come here thinking you was going to get a golden ticket? Fuck off. Back to the pub. Something like that. What's another show where they would just ruin people mentally? Deal or No Deal?
American Idol was classic with it. I feel like Survivor would sometimes be they would talk about why the person needs the money, and it would be really sad.
Actually, yeah, you know what?
It's every show, I feel.
Yeah, I would say that, now that I think about it, I think this really isn't any worse than Survivor. It really isn't. People banding together, people getting backstabbed. It's really all the same stuff. I'll say the difference is with this show, there is zero character development. You kind of get to know some of the people, but not really. And that, to me, is what feels uncanny about it. They just kind of skip past you getting to know anyone. They only show them crying. And they only show them saying what they would have used the money for or what they hope to use the money for. But there's no long, drawn-out, I'm Michael, my mom has stage 3 mesothelioma, none of that shit. It's just a guy will lose and then look at the camera and go, my mom is really sick and in the hospital right now and I really needed this. And then Mr. Beast walks in and he's like, oh, that sucks. And then cut. Next scene. It's unreal. It's unreal. I guess I would if I had to put a log line for this show, it's semi-ethical live leak. That's how I would describe it. So I'm all in on Beast Games, man.
How many people are still left?
At this point in the show, there's a good amount of people left.
I feel like that's why you can't feel bad for anyone, really. Because there's just too many people for them to focus on anyone.
Yes, that's 100% it. You're completely right about that. If they take the 1,000 people. But this gave me an idea, watching the show, for a show that, honestly, I feel like we could make. It could be interesting. So, I'm drawing inspiration from fucking Beast Games, dude. Because I think there's things in there where I'm like, nah, it should be more like this. But I'll say the cheap nature of some of the games, I will say it adds to the anxiety of the players, and I think that causes them to make big mistakes. Because it's a lot of not super thought through games. It's just throw a ball this far. And you don't really have there's nothing you could do to really plan for it, which in that way it's good. So there's nothing where anyone can go, oh, I've done this for a long time. I'll be really good at that. I will say there's a point where there's a push-up competition. And out of all the people, there's a dude who's really tatted up. And I'm like, I know that guy went to prison for at least 6 months. Or he probably went to jail. He probably was in a holding correctional facility. And he's going to fucking eke these guys out. And sure enough, he does. He does 75 push-ups.
Jesus.
It's in a row, folks. So I've never felt more like a cop. Just looking at the guy being like, yeah, he's done meth. He's going to bang these push-ups out. I fucking know it. This guy is a rec room champion. I know he's going to do well. So.
This is I just found something kind of crazy.
What's that?
Did you know this? Someone got pregnant on the show?
Oh My God. Buzzer beater here from Ovi. Woman who got pregnant on Beast Games with another contestant shares how luck ran out. Get the fuck out of here. Wait, no. Punch in? I didn't drink my breast milk today, so I can't read that far. Sarah, otherwise known as Beast Games 440, has spoken out about how she came to realize she was expecting a baby shortly after filming Wrapped on the popular Amazon Prime show. Sarah, who appeared as player 440, has announced that she's pregnant. She and her husband, oh, that's not fun. I don't care about that. Who gives a shit about that? That's not news. I was hoping for, me and contestant 3 went to the T-Mobile bonus house and we got nasty. Yeah, after contestant 5 won the T-Mobile bonus round and got access to the safe house, I snuck in there during filming and we made a baby. I would have loved a Mr. Beast baby. That's the Antichrist. That's what people don't know is this whole game, he shacked those people up because he's trying to breed his offspring. At the end of the show, Mr. Beast walks up to the baby and his eyes roll up in his head and his 4-foot tongue falls out of his head and he's like, and then the symbol of Baphomet appears on his right hand. The head of Baphomet on his right hand burned into, it's a branding that shows up on his hand. And he reaches out to the pregnant lady's stomach. And it brands her stomach, and then the brand appears for a moment lit up, and then it melts through to the skin, and then it goes into the child. And then Jimmy's eyes roll back down, and his tongue goes up in his head, and he says in a voice 2 octaves lower because he's still possessed by the spirit, he's like, "The path has been marked. He is chosen. You will not win this game. But your earnings come in different ways." And then Mr. Beast tells them the day he dies, he's like, "In 2067, the year of my end, my spirit will be imbued into him, and all that is mine will become yours." And then the husband kneels, and he goes, "Yes, master." And then Mr. Beast breaks off a piece of his horn, and he makes the semen carrier eat it. And then they kill him right there. Oh, man. That's more exciting than fucking hanky-panky pre-show. Oh, I don't care about that.
It was the day they got eliminated.
Yeah, that's no fun. Who cares about that? I got pregnant at Beast Games? I really would have liked it if this just opened in the Bohemian Grove and Jimmy's there with his pals. We're here with contestant 440, and we're going to put the spirit of Baphomet into her stomach. I don't know his buddies' names. And they're like, "Whoa, that was a quick transfer." And then they show up with another vlog camera, and they're like, "Hey, you're about to get the power of Baphomet. How do you feel about that?" Me thinks you're going to have a really good time. Yeah. Anyways, folks, that's going to do it for the main. A bit of a more chill episode. We'll get a bit funnier in the bonus. We'll see you there. TMGstudios.tv. Please join me. It's going to be a good time. All right, goodbye. This week on the bonus. What's the guy who wants to fuck his mom? Freud. Now that we're in the bonus, we can be cool and edgy and dangerous. I'm being disgusting today. I'm sorry. I'm being an absolute sicko today, aren't I? This is great, man. I feel now. Let's go another 2 hours.
Watch the full episode by signing up for a membership at tmgstudios.tv.